Welcome to Bright by Your Side with Jen, upleveling in the age of anxiety with groundbreaking science on transformation talk radio. I am Jen Dyer, your host, and today we're talking about parent stress, how to manage the pressure and get the help you need now. So basically, you're not alone, and today we're going to share solutions that you can implement right away that might actually help you out. So the reason we're doing this, the Surgeon General released a report called Parents Under Pressure, where he outlined the mental health crisis among parents and how it profoundly affects their children's mental health, right? So we're talking two generations that are really stressed out. Um, 41% of parents say that most days they are so stressed they cannot function. 41%. 48% say that most days their stress is completely overwhelming compared to other adults without kids. And the report cited research stating that a primary caregiver reporting poor mental health, their children were 4 times more likely to have poor general health and 2 times more likely to have mental, behavioral, or just developmental disorders. So basically, the parents' mental health is so important for the kids. The kids basically mirror off the parents. It's that whole, put that oxygen mask on yourself before turning to your child. So this report had all kinds of things, about what parents are dealing with, obviously financial strain, time demands, fears for their children. Nearly 3 in 4 parents are worried their child will struggle with anxiety and depression. And 74% of parents are really, really significantly worried about school shootings. And we just had one yesterday. And firearm related injury has become the leading cause of death for kids ages 1 to 19. So drug poisoning is now number 4. Social media, parents are worried about that. Basically parents are feeling out of control and they need help. So I brought my parenting expert, Isla Reddin, here to help us out because she has ushered thousands of teens and young adults from middle school to high school to college and then beyond into the workplace. Like that's big. So I figured who can talk about this with me and how can we bring solutions to you? So I'd like you to welcome Isla Reddin. Isla.
Thank you, Jen. Such a pleasure to be back with you today. And but so upsetting that we're having this conversation around something that has become epidemic
Mhm.
in our society and is affecting all of us so profoundly. And my heart truly goes to every parent that is parenting today, no
Mhm.
matter what the age of their child. You and I are both on the other side of that.
Yes.
We are parents, but our kids are now grown. Um, they're still our children. They still need us. It's just different. But those moms and dads and caregivers who are dealing with their kids still at home, it's really, really a challenge.
It is. And, I think obviously the school shooting thing is insane, but I mean, the things that they're worried about for social media, because social media it, it's really, really difficult to control. And they're worried about that it's going to cause their kids anxiety and depression, lower self-esteem, being harassed or bullied by others, feeling pressured to act a certain way. And then 71% of parents are worried that they'll have exposure to explicit content. I mean, you just feel like you're kind of like this island and your child is experiencing the world without them. And
Mm.
then you're busy with work and you
Yeah.
have your demands from work and your financial strain right now. It's been so difficult.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that you had said to me was that parents cannot afford to let their stress ruin their relationship with their kid. And that if your relationship with your child is not solid by the time they're 18, you'll never be able to fix it. So this is really just the utmost important to really get in line and get yourself the care that you need so that you can be that parent for your kids.
Yeah. Yeah. When we were kind of brainstorming a little bit around this, and one of the things that I am constantly reminding parents of, and it's, you can say it's easy for me because I'm not the one with that teenager at home, but there is a deadline that is looming for every parent. The moment their child becomes an adult on that 18th birthday, everything has the potential to change unless you've been really working at nurturing the relationship that you have. And tragically, I have way too many examples of parents that I am now helping to try and get back a relationship with their adult child because
Right.
the relationship just got broken in those teenage years, and it's so hard to get it back. And my mantra has always been just focus on your relationship. It's more important than anything else. It's hard, that's hard, but that's the crux of it. At the end of the day, that relationship is the only thing that you have to truly, truly, truly take care of.
That's right. And you need to be in the best shape you can be to do that in the right place mentally. So, Isla, what is your number one thing that people should bring into their life to make their life a little less stressful? What do you suggest first off?
Well, I think we as a society, we're horribly bad at asking for help. What has happened is that we've grown up believing that we're supposed to be able to do it all, and we can't. I mean, it is not humanly possible to put this expectation on ourselves, and for society to be so incredibly heartless to put it on us as well. So those
Yes.
statistics that you're talking about, they come from the fact that we feel so alone, that we're not getting the support that we need. And we're scared to ask for it because we feel that we should be capable of doing all of this alone. So my first thing is ask for help, and figure out how to do it, even when it's the most uncomfortable, painful thing in the world to ask for help.
That was, I mean, that was how I've talked about this before on my show where we were raised to do everything ourselves. My mother was she was very good at work. And, but as far as like building friends at school or other parents and stuff, she was just wanted to do it herself and didn't want to have to talk to people. And I think it was a type of shyness. And we were raised to not bother people. Don't talk to them. You're bothering them. Don't call people without them expecting it. You're bothering them. You don't know what they're doing right now. Don't bother them. So I was raised to not bother people. And so it is honestly, when I was raising my daughter and I was a working mom and she was too young to stay home, I should have asked for help from other families. I didn't find out till afterwards. They're like, we love Lexi. We would have loved to have her over at our house while you after school. I had no idea. I was trying to, yeah, I was just scrambling to find a place for her to go after school when there wasn't her activities that we had signed her up for. So totally. So, yeah, we can talk about that. So for people who are shy, who don't want to
Yeah.
ask for help, like,
So
what are
well,
your thoughts?
I think that, one of the statistics that I also came across today was, and this is in the general population, that 30% of all adults, so all ages, all adults, are feeling lonely and isolated, and to an almost debilitating extent, at least once a week. So if we think about the people that are even on our street, we think about the other moms that we see at drop off at the school. Their likelihood is that there's a big number of those people, those other moms, those other parents that are feeling exactly the same way as we are, that are feeling isolated, that don't have the support. So how do we now frame reaching out to people that could become friends, could become allies, could become part of that support system, where when you need to go run an errand, that they can come and look after your child, or you can just start a relationship with them. And then how to get past this idea, this way that you're raised in this shyness. And one of my suggestions was you give before you're going to get, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
how do you imagine introducing yourself to somebody on the street. Maybe there's an older person there that's living alone. And, could you and your daughter be baking muffins one Saturday morning and just go knock on the door and say, we would just love to introduce ourselves. And we've been baking together. There is nobody that's going to shut the door on you. I think it's about being brave enough to say, this is not working for me being on my own. What strategies can I now test to see what works? It's not all going to work, but we're big, we're brave, we can put on our big girl panties and we can do this, right? Because it's important. We've got to do it.
Well, and that was a learning for me. I suddenly a world opened up where people really like helping. They love to help people. They do it because it makes you feel good. It makes them feel good. It makes you feel good when you're helping someone else. People really do want to help and they don't know how. I'm sure my mom was like the only single parent. And I'm sure they all wanted to help in some way, but they didn't know how. And they didn't know her because she was always just like doing her thing separately. A lot of that was because she was the only single parent. She didn't feel like she could relate. But you find out people really do want to help. And that's just kind of actually like human nature. And people crave relationships. So when you're walking past people because you don't want to bother them, they're actually kind of hurt by that. And I didn't know that until people would say things to me like, yeah, I thought you were a total B till B until I met you. And I'm like, wow, really? I just thought I didn't want to bother you. And we thought you were stuck up, or we thought you just didn't like us, and I had no idea that what I thought I was doing right was completely the opposite when it comes to building relationships, building a community that I could lean on. And that and honestly, I enjoy helping other people. How would I know they needed help if I didn't talk to anybody?
Exactly. And
Yeah.
again, that's part of our nature. We want to help others. And you're
Yes.
absolutely right. We get that dopamine hit from
Yes.
somebody else. It feels good.
That's right.
So, but there is an element of just be brave.
Yes.
Know that we're all craving this connection. We're feeling so isolated and so lonely. We all need it. So you, Mom, could be the brave one to say, I'm going to reach out and I'm going to do that. I'm going to do something this Saturday morning that's going to start to build my own personal community.
Well, and it's a great example as modeling for your kid to do something brave. Like, I don't know this lady either, sweetie. Let's go down there and we'll be brave. And who knows, we could change her life. I actually, you start using those words and you kind of make them. And then guess what? It does. It ends up being a beautiful thing. And they're so grateful you showed up. And I mean, but you have to be brave to make that move, you know? But the general thing I want to get across was that, the experience will be positive. People do like to meet people and people do want to help. So, and of course, like you said, offering help first. You do that because you get the dopamine hit. But then eventually, after offering help to people, you're going to have this whole group of people who are like, really, they want to help you in some way to kind of pay you back. And that's not why you do it, but it does set you up with a community really quickly.
Very quickly. Very quickly. Yes.
Yeah. So, we're about to take a break in just a second. So, I want to talk about what we're going to talk about when we come back. We are going to talk about how to build that relationship with your kid. And also cheap and easy self-care. Because, when you say, oh, you need to do self-care, you're just like, oh my God, I don't have time for self-care. Who has time for self-care? I'm running this person to that practice, this person, the thought of self-care to me has always been kind of a joke, honestly, when I was a working mom. So, but I have learned ways to do it and take care of myself. So we want to share some with you that are really easy. And these are all based in neurochemistry. Like we're talking dopamine hits, like for real. These are things slowing down your brain, slowing down your thoughts. It really does relieve anxiety. So, we'll take our break in just a second. Actually, we'll take it right now, and then we'll see you in just a minute after the break. Welcome back to Bright by Your Side with Jen, upleveling in the age of anxiety with groundbreaking science on Transformation Talk Radio. I'm Jen Dyer, and I'm here today with my guest, Isla Reddin, who is a family teen expert here to help us deal with this talk about this report that the Surgeon General came out with about the crisis of parental stress, which is then causing their kids to be stressed. So, welcome, Isla. So we left it at, we were going to talk about, we already talked about the need to build a community to lean on. And it's not as scary as you think. You really can do it. Be strong if you're not good at it. I wasn't. I'm better now. So build your village. You need your village. So, Isla, we talked about also, so the importance of your relationship with your child and making sure that is solid by the time they're 18. So how do parents make sure that's happening for them?
So one of the things that I see so much of is the parents and kids are going in different directions. They're coming in and out of the house. They're barely seeing each other, as the common denominator is the refrigerator. Everybody's there.
That's so true.
He's opening it and picking stuff out of it. The problem is that we're not using the refrigerator all at the same time. So we're not together. I completely understand that one child's in water polo, another one's in volleyball. That was my kids. Somebody else is in football. Somebody else has got choir. All of this is, but I really want to challenge parents to think about the number of extracurricular activities that their kids are in and the amount of time it's taking away from the family, because this is where the mess truly happens. When parents and kids are not spending enough time together to just be able to share without the pressure of, what did you do today? And did you get an A in that test, or did you get a C? Oh my God, now I've heard you just got an F. What happened? That's not building a relationship.
No. Yeah.
Relationships are built by spending time together in each other's presence that is calm, where there's an understanding of a kind of a no judgment zone, no criticism zone, but just enjoying the being together. That, for me, has to be dinner time. And it has to happen, in my view, at least 3 times a week. The more, nice, huh? But at least that. Now, in my house, when the kids were growing up, my responsibility was getting dinner on the table. And because I tended to want to cook it, I wasn't a great cook, and I didn't cook anything complex, but I tended to want to cook it. But we have DoorDash, we have Uber Eats, we have drive-through, we have so many different opportunities to get food on the table at the designated time. And then everybody be there. And when we talk about the fact that at 18, these kids are independent and on their own, and if we haven't consolidated the relationship by then, we're going to have a very hard time doing it later. So my first thing is meal times, dinner together at least 3 times a week. So that's one. Second, and then we were talking about how to reduce parental stress, mom stress. And one of the things that, in fact, I honestly have to say that I still do it at times with my kids, and my kids are grown. My favorite music is ABBA.
Yeah, who doesn't love to dance to that?
Honestly, headphones on, in the kitchen, rocking out, and then taking everybody on the rock and roll with me.
Yeah,
I still do it, and that's something. Every time you move like that, you change state. You cannot stay down. It can't be. Things can't be heavy. And even my little grandkids, my little grandsons, they love it. It's a dance party.
Right. Dance party. Yeah. And, I know people who just the first thing they do is put music on in the morning when everyone's getting ready to leave the house, just to get them in the right frame of mind, not that stress. Oh God, school starts soon. you're bouncing through the house. You're bouncing and you're brushing your teeth. Like they play music throughout the whole house. So music, absolutely. It raises your energy. It raises your vibration 100%. I have to say my favorite thing for parents to do together, and I did this a lot with my daughter, volunteer as a family. Now, yes, you will, but by the time they're 12, they're not going to want to do it. And you kind of really have to convince them, like whether, and I kind of suggest doing something that's new to you too. So you're like, I don't know what's going to happen either. And then you have this adventure. You tell them, I basically, one, it's going to look good on your college application, but number two, I just want you to go to heaven. Can you please do something for like help help charity, help people in need, please. We're going to do this. So whatever you have to say, get them off that, even if it's, you have to buy them something at dinner that they want, Panera or whatever afterwards, whatever. Because once they get there, and again, they feel that gratitude from the people there who are so glad you're there, they're going to come away. My daughter would come away like babbling in the car. Oh, this person. And I mean, on the way, she was pouting. On the way back, she couldn't stop talking. Because the people there who are working with the volunteers, usually they're pretty good. They want you to stay and come back. So they want to treat you well. So usually it's a good experience. And then you have this adventure where, crazy things can happen. You'll end up with private jokes. Like, if you work at a food bank, maybe you accidentally, the potato bag breaks and gets all over you. They'll laugh at you like forever about that. But, you're laughing together, right? That's the key. Even if you're the butt of the joke and you're like, yeah, whatever, it broke. It wasn't my fault. The fact that you're laughing and talking about something that is not goal related or, chore related or trouble related or failure related,
Related in some way.
Yeah. You just need it in those moments of laughter, even if you're the one they're making fun of, but you had the private jokes, and private jokes last your entire life. So I vote on volunteer as a family, and you don't have to go once a quarter, just once a quarter. It doesn't even have to be every week. Just find something that looks, the Humane Society, food bank, whatever, find something that they might learn something and make it happen. You can do it.
Yeah. Again, and it's another dopamine hit thing, right?
Absolutely.
It's good. Yeah, I mean, it may not seem like it to begin with, but that's what the outcome is for sure.
So cheap and easy self-care. Let's talk about that. So, again, we only have a few minutes left. What are your ideas for cheap and easy self-care for parents who are stressed?
So I think before you ever get into conflict with your kid, first of all, take a very big, deep breath.
Yes.
And then make a decision. Do I want to answer this thing right now? Or am I going to just take a pause and come back to it later? And you have the choice. And trust me, I know how hard it is, but take that breath and do not engage unless you feel you absolutely have to. So that's one. Second, and the second one goes with it. Just excuse yourself and go for a walk around the block.
Yes. Fresh air is so helpful.
Break the energy, break whatever that might be. If you're feeling stressed, find a different way of handling it.
Like break that momentum too. If you can feel it going somewhere, just back out and go, I got to go outside. Because you can feel that momentum building. Like if I say the next thing I need to say, they're going to have a freak out and be in their room and never come out again, so go outside, think about it.
And as you said before, we're always modeling behavior anyway.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we stop it when we can feel it's going downhill. We stop it and we say, I'm just going to go outside for a moment. You've taught them.
Yes.
I can stop it too, and I don't need to engage. So everything you do, you're modeling anyway. Everything.
And that's a massive social skill to controlling your anger and controlling your emotions that I feel like kids need. So that's like modeling social skill number one, controlling your emotions in public with other people. Key.
Yeah, very, very, very important. And because we're coming close to the end, what I would love to do is conflict comes over all kinds of things. And because the emotional brain of the child, of the teenager, is kind of on fire during these teenage years, it's so easy for them to pick a fight. So easy. And it's very frustrating and difficult for us. So I have a free guide that I know Jen into the notes here. That's kind of the 10 reasons why you have conflict. And what I would really invite you to do, mums and dads, is just download that, connect with me, come into my community so that I can keep giving you new ideas, tips, strategies to be able to work through some of this stuff. Because what you really want is to find a way where you feel that you're controlling the situation rather than your child being in control of it.
Yes. And I have to say, you send out great tips. Yeah, in your email, every once in a while, you'll get this lovely message that you're like, hey, this actually relates to what's happening right now. So great tips. And it's all free. So yeah, absolutely go download Isla's free guide. And if you need help in your family, reach out to Isla. And then I also have on brightbyyourside.com, I have just a cheat sheet that is a 10-minute instant energy and mood reset. It's just 8 steps that you do from, going to a quiet place to breathing and what to visualize. Because using your imagination changes your energy, calms your mood. So yeah, that is also available. So Isla, what's the website you would like people to visit you on?
So I want people to just connect with me on my email. So
right.
Download my guide and connect with me at Isla at cracktheteencode.com.
Right. So that's our Crack the Teen Code. It's great.
.com is my company. And that's what we're all trying to do. All of us.
That's right. So just to recap, build your village. And establish boundaries. We didn't even talk about that. How to just be able to say no. That's back to saying no to too many extracurricular activities and demands in your life and your child's life. And intentionally improve those relationships with your kids. Make that a conscious effort on a to-do list. Schedule that every quarter, every week, whatever it is. You need to, and then dinners 3 nights a week minimum. And then, practice that self-care, walk outside, get some air, take some deep breaths, listen to music, anything that can change your mood before you walk into that room where you have an angry person and you're going to have to deal with that. Prepare yourself. The oxygen mask must go on you first. So, I think we're done. I think we're out of time. Isla, is there anything else real quick you want to throw in?
No, only that we can do this, but it takes the village. Do not allow yourself to be alone. Even drop comments here that say, this is how I'm feeling. This is what I want. This is the help I need.
Yes, because you're not alone. Obviously, statistics are showing, right? You are not alone. So there's no reason why we can't all hold hands together and get through this together and raise this next generation happy and fine. We can do it.
And healthy.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you again for tuning in to Bright by Your Side with Jen on Transformation Talk Radio. Again, I'm Jen Dyer, and I'm here to help. And this is Bright by Your Side. Thank you. Thank you, Isla.
Thank you, Jen.
You have been listening to Bright by Your Side with Jen, upleveling in the age of anxiety with groundbreaking science on Transformation Talk Radio. If you are considering mental health medication for yourself or your child, please try this first. Life skills and gut health are keys to reducing anxiety. Let us show you it's easier than you think. Tune in every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific Time to feel optimistic about your own abilities and learn easy, proven ways to live life with ease. Become resilient to stress, anxiety, and overwhelm, and find joy. We're bringing you solutions to the problems stressing you out. We do the research for you and present it on a silver platter with a side of fun and laughter. Every show will leave you smiling, optimism, and joy in real time. To connect with Jen, visit brightbyyourside.com.